Okay, these are the choices for the optional Read Aloud 2. Please do not vote for Read Aloud 2 if you do not plan on coming to Read Aloud 2. Remember, you must come to Read Aloud 1, the historical fiction Read Aloud, starting next week. For Read Aloud 2, it is optional. Here are your optional choices for Read Aloud 2. First one is called Lions and Liars. This book has some amazing illustrations, so I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of a preview into some of the illustrations in this book as we look through. These books all have short chapters. This has some really good illustrations in it. Friedrich Friedrichsen has a food chain theory about life. There are lions, like the school bully, gazelles, like the bullied kids. There are meerkats, and then the fleas that live on the butts of meerkats. Friedrich's a flea. Fifth grade is off to a terrible start when Friedrich is sent to a disciplinary camp for troublesome boys. His fellow troopmates, Nosebleed, Specs, the professor, and little yet lethal Antbite are terrifying. But in between trust-building exercises and midnight escape attempts, a tenuous friendship grows between them, which is lucky because a Category 5 hurricane is coming and everyone will have to work together, lions and fleas alike, to survive. Kate Beasley outdoes herself in this hilarious whip-smart tale of brotherhood, survival, and what it really means to be a friend. The next one is called The 14th Goldfish. This one has some really funny short chapters and not as much illustrations, but a lot of humor. Galileo, Newton, Salk, Oppenheimer. Science can change the world, but can it go too far? 11-year-old Ellie has never liked change. She misses fifth grade. She misses her old best friend. She even misses her dearly departed goldfish. Then one day, a strange boy shows up. He's bossy, he's cranky, and weirdly enough, he looks a lot like Ellie's grandfather, a scientist who's always been slightly obsessed with immortality, which means living forever. Could this pimply 13-year-old boy really be her Grandpa Melvin? Has he found the secret to eternal youth? With a light-hearted touch and plenty of humor, Jennifer Holmes celebrates the wonder of science and explores fascinating questions about life and death, family and friendship, immortality, and possibility. The third book that we're going to look at is called Crime Biters. This one is full of illustrations and it kind of goes through these different character profiles. So you kind of get, let me zoom out a little bit, you kind of get these profiles of different characters. So they show their picture and then they give a little intro into each character as they go. Lots of illustrations and lots of humor in this. It is somewhat of a mystery to solve, so I will go ahead and read the summary for this. From the author of Charlie Joe Jackson's Guide to Not Reading comes a humorous and illustrated new series about a boy whose new dog may or may not be a crime-fighting vampire. Jimmy Bishop loves doing three things. 1, laughing at funny dog videos online. 2, watching his favorite show, Stop Police, on TV. And 3, reading his favorite vampire book, Fang Goodness, over and over and over. His self-involved older sister and workaholic mom think he needs to stop obsessing already. But when his dad finally allows Jimmy to get a new puppy right before school starts, everything changes. And Jimmy has something new to focus on. His amazing dog, Abby, who seems to have some very unusual habits. She sleeps all day, but is wired at night. She runs from the garlic kelp biscuit made by Jimmy's strange new babysitter, Mrs. Cragg. There's just something different about Abby. Could she possibly be a vampire? Jimmy's best friend, Erwin, thinks Jimmy's being ridiculous. But then, when Abby uncovers a real crime in progress and helps him become friends with an actual human girl, even Erwin has to admit that perhaps Abby might have some superpowers after all. Those are your choices for Read Aloud 2. Remember, Read Aloud 2 is just a choice. If you do not plan to come to Read Aloud 2, please do not vote because this will be just for the people who want to enjoy it.